Hello everyone, we are back with another fragrance video, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing some more of these samples. I think most of them by now I haven't really, I've tried most of these by now, but there is a few that I left for this video. So there's one in here I'm going to start off with. It's called YSL Myslf. This is a new YSL release, and I haven't actually tried it yet. But you can see here, Myslf. It's a weird name because if someone asks, what are you wearing? Or, you know, you could be like, oh, it's just myself. And then it's like, that'll give you a strange look, like, okay. But anyway, I've heard this is pretty good. I'm pretty sure Curly Fragrance did some kind of video with it on the street, letting people try it. She also talked a little bit about this fragrance. She likes it. Someone's making noise outside. But anyway, I'm going to spray this on. And let's see what it smells like. Okay, first impression is actually, it's pretty good. But it smells very familiar. I want to say it smells like Luna Rossa Ocean in the opening, but I don't think that's right. I'm still getting a lot of alcohol in the opening. I can still smell like this, something fruity, citrusy, fresh, sweet, like a lavender. If it's not lavender, there's like some flower in there, but more generic, like a generic kind of blue fragrance. This is like pretty generic for a blue fragrance. I want to say it was like apple in the opening, apple, citrus, lavender. But surely they wouldn't make another fragrance with apple lavender when they've already got like YSL Y, which is pretty much that. You know what? I'm getting a lot of that Luna Rossa Ocean smell in here. So it could be iris. It could be iris. It could be citrus, iris, maybe C notes, maybe the sweetness is coming from like tonka. I think it is a little woody, but it's not like too woody or anything. It's like a very generic wood. So typically, your typical generic blue fragrance would be like citrus or C notes. You would have like cedar, vetiver. You would probably have lavender or orange blossom, something like that in there. You would probably have like tonka or vanilla. That's your typical blue fragrance. And you know what? I'm gonna spray it again. I want to get the full smell of this. Yeah, see, I do smell a fruit when I get that first spray. It is fruity, so I want to say it's more than just citrus. I do want to say it's like apple. It's weird. It has this powderiness to it. Like, it is a little bit powdery. So that can be iris, or it can be musk. It can be cardamom. Yeah, I want to say it's got cardamom in it. Just because I'm getting a lot of that powderiness. But it could be cardamom, tonka, lavender, apple. And then either cedar or vetiver, some type of wood in there. And ambroxan, it is quite heavy on the ambroxan, maybe not like that. It's not as aggressive as YSL, but it is definitely, like, you can tell it's a YSL fragrance by the smell of it. Just, it's got that very, what's the word? Alcohol. It's very alcohol smelling, like, but in a good way. It's like that fresh alcohol, that ambroxan, whatever that chemical is. Got something in my eye as well. But yeah, it's got like some alcohol synthetic molecule in there. It could be ambroxan, something like that. But yeah, that's my guess. Is I think it smells pretty similar to Luna Rossa Ocean. So I didn't expect that, but I assumed that's coming from like cardamom or iris, something like that, which giving it that similar smell. Even though the notes are probably different. There is probably like clary sage or something in there. Yeah, maybe clary sage, because that's another generic note that's in a lot of blue fragrances as well. I'm going to look at Fragrantica, but I do like this. I do think it's a very nice blue fragrance. It's another foolproof fragrance, obviously. I like the bottle because the bottle is black. So the notes just say citrus, orange blossom. It's got like ambro fix, which is probably like YSL's ambroxan. Patchouli. Yeah, I am a little bit nose blind to this as well. So I think because it is so synthetic and there is a lot of alcohol in here, or whatever that synthetic molecule is, I'm not getting the full experience. It just smells like very clean, a little bit woody, aromatic, citrusy, fruity. Yeah, it's a lot of people probably not gonna like this. Like, when I say they're not gonna like it, I mean Fragrantica is probably gonna get a low rating. It's probably gonna get a lot of hate for being very generic, boring. A lot of people are gonna be like, it's so boring, but boring's not always bad. Boring is okay. I mean, this is wearable. I would wear it. I like it. Would get you compliments. I cannot really see anything wrong with it besides just being another boring blue fragrance. But there's definitely like an irisy cardamom smell in there, combined with apple and lavender. And surprised they're not in the notes because I smell them. So let's move on to the next fragrance. Actually, there is another one in here that I've been wanting to try for a while. It's by Syn.Ergy Scentologia. So this is another one, curly fragrance. Is kind of talked about a little bit. I don't know if it's got much hype, but I think I was in an Uber once and the Uber driver was talking about this brand Scentologia or something, and he was like telling me how expensive the prices are or something like that. So if this is that same brand he's talking about, then it's probably gonna be very what's the word, expensive. I was noticing there's like oil on the cap here. Something's very oily, like it's leaked. And I smell Baccarat Rouge 540, so I'm like, I don't know where this Baccarat Rouge 540 smell's coming from on the cap. But I hope it hasn't contaminated the fragrance. I wonder if this smells like Baccarat Rouge 540, because I haven't tried this one either. This was like one of the two that I haven't tried. Actually, no, I think there might be more than two I haven't tried. I haven't tried the 1 million Privé either. Yeah, this is the like that Baccarat Rouge 540 fragrance. So it was whatever's on the lid definitely does smell a little bit like Baccarat Rouge 540, but fruity. So you know what? Actually, I think it's a little bit more like Kajal Eden Apple, but with more of that Baccarat Rouge 540 smell. So this is probably ambroxan, fir resin, or saffron with some kind of wood. Like it might be ISO Super. It might be a molecule fragrance as well. Yeah, it's got that like ISO Super woodiness, and then it's got like that ambery saffron fir resin smell. It's got like a fruitiness, which I'm pretty sure is apple, because it smells a lot like Kajal Eden Apple, but more masculine. So Kajal Eden Apple is more feminine. This is more masculine. So it's always interesting to try these Baccarat Rouge 540 style fragrances that are more masculine, because I think the original is a little bit more feminine. And there is some feminine clones out there, like Mancera Instant Crush as well. Yeah, very woody, ambery, sweet, syrupy, a little bit fruity, a little bit dry, and I think there might be a little bit of pepperiness to it as well. A little bit disappointed, but I like it. So I'm only disappointed because I'm kind of over that Baccarat Rouge 540 DNA, but I would probably wear that over Baccarat Rouge 540. So I like that a little bit more than original Baccarat Rouge. So I'm going to look on Fragrantica quickly just to try and find what's in it. Pineapple, mango, peach, pear, apple. So it does have apple, but it's got a lot more fruit than I actually thought. It's also got saffron, so that's that Baccarat Rouge 540 sweetness is the saffron. The apple is the fruitiness. The woodiness is cedar, but it's got almond and rose and jasmine and oak moss and yeah, pretty much those notes. The almond might be smelling a little bit woody in here. Or the almond might be what's making it dry. It could be giving it that dryness I was talking about. Typically, almond has a Play-Doh or plastic smell. So maybe if I spray more of this, I get more of that plastic smell. But I actually think the fruit in here counteracts that plastic smell from the almond. So that's pretty smart. Whenever you use almond, you have to balance that smell out with probably something fruity and fresh, because I've noticed the moment you start making a nutty fragrance, like really sweet with like caramel and praline and stuff, it almost like makes that plasticky dough smell even more noticeable. So you don't want that. You kind of want to hide that a little bit. But this is yeah, it's definitely one of those Baccarat Rouge 540 style fragrances, but done better because of the fruits in there. I know a lot of people are going to be like, it's not a clone because it's got so many different notes. So yeah, if you think like that, fair enough. So I'm looking at the reminds me of. Some people say Kajal Lamar and God of Fire, which it definitely doesn't smell like God of Fire or Lamar, because I own both of those as well. I have a full bottle of Lamar. I wear that quite regularly, and that to me is like pretty heavy on the rose, pretty heavy on the pineapple and very sweet. It's got that sweetness, but it's definitely more pineapple and rose in there. Whereas I didn't even notice the pineapple in this fragrance. I thought it was more appley, more like an apple. Yeah, very nice. I would recommend this one. So this is one I do recommend people try and buy. And yeah, a lot of people are saying it smells like Baccarat rouge. So I'm not the only one. It's one of the top recommended fragrances. Fragrantica. So let's move on to some other fragrances that I haven't tried yet. That I have tried, I mean. So we'll do these. See, these ones aren't as hyped, right? But I'm just going to review them anyway. This is called Soir Exclusif by Navitus. I did actually try this the other day. And damn it. I think I've sprayed it on my hand instead of my wrist by accident. Okay. I wrote down some notes for this, or I wrote down some notes, I should say. I probably should have sprayed that better. I'm gonna give this another spray because I can't smell it. The place on my hand that I've sprayed it wasn't very great. Much better. Okay. So I'm just gonna look on my computer for a minute or a second and try and find the notes that I wrote down originally for this. So this has this like nutty sesame smell to it. It definitely smells like nuts, some type of nut. It's got that almondy plastic smell. And I also said caramel. The caramel is like when you combine caramel and nuts, this is like that the candy called brittle. You know what brittle is? It's pretty much crushed up nuts or nuts that have been coated in caramel, and you eat them and it's like candy pretty much. But this has got that kind of candied nut smell to it. It's also got coffee in here. The coffee also gives it this toasted sesame smell, which is pretty good. I like that. I like the coffee in here, what it's doing. It's not like a realistic coffee smell. It doesn't smell like coffee. It smells more like sesame. It does have that plastic Play-Doh smell, but it's okay. Like, it's tolerable. It does get a lot more noticeable in the dry down. And then, yeah, instead of almond, I wish that a lot of perfumers started using more sweeter nuts instead of almond, because almond is quite bitter. I just wish that perfumers use different nuts, like hazelnut, chestnut, hazelnut, maybe macadamia, walnut. I think hazelnut's generally a good nut to go with, because that's like the sweetest, the best tasting nut, I think. So hazelnut would have been better than an almond, in my opinion. So what else has it got in it that I have written down? Coffee, nuts, sesame, caramel, vanilla, and it's a little bit similar to Givenchy pie in the opening. So the opening is like vanilla, almond, then, or vanilla, hazelnut. It's got some kind of nut. So vanilla nut with that toasted sesame smell. So it's a little bit similar to Givenchy pie, except it's got more of a toasty sesame smell, which comes from that coffee. And then the dry down is actually a lot closer to BDK Velvet Tonka. So if you ever tried Velvet Tonka, that's like, it's a nutty powdery vanilla or tonka. Nutty powdery tonka, which some people compare to like Luna Razor Black or Navitus Sartorial Nui. So this is like in that same kind of family as BDK Velvet Tonka. It is very similar in the dry down. Opening's not that close. The dry down, however, is very similar. This is nice, but it's not quite my style fragrance. It's not quite what I'm looking for in a fragrance. It is gourmand. I don't really like nuts that much in fragrances because it's a little bit bitter, plasticky, Play-Doh-y. Apart from that, I do think it is a very nice gourmand. It is a little bit unique for a gourmand because of that sesame smell. So yeah, I think it's another great fragrance from Navitus. So I really like the fragrances Navitus are putting out. Not all of them, but there is a few that I've tried that I did actually really like. So speaking of Navitus, I'll actually look at I will review the key next. So I'm not going to do it just yet. I want to quickly look on Fragrantica at the actual notes for Soir Exclusive. But next I will review the key, which is a Dominique Ropion fragrance, I believe. So just quickly pulling up the notes on Fragrantica for Soir Exclusive is almond, coffee, blood orange, marshmallow, vanilla orchid, tonka, black licorice, vanilla driftwood, totally balsam, musk oak moss. So yeah, you get that like marshmallow sweetness, which smells a lot like caramel, and that's why I was saying it's got like this caramel smell to it. So it's the marshmallow. I think marshmallow also amplifies that plastic smell. I don't know why, but marshmallow, sometimes it's a bit iffy in a fragrance where it's just can ruin it. Some marshmallow fragrances are like really fluffy and light, airy, and really delicious. So marshmallow is a hit or miss kind of note for me. Anyway, yeah, next we will look at this fragrance here. It's called The Key by Navitus. And I've only seen one YouTuber talk about this, and it's Oda Erica. And I've already tried this, by the way, because I get impatient. When I have a box of fragrances I just buy, I just want to try them all straight away. This is actually very similar to Sospiro Vibrato and Goldfield and Banks Ingenious Ginger. So if you like either of those, Ingenious Ginger or Vibrato, this is pretty much exactly like those. You get like this sherbet lemon or a musky lemon. It's almost like a candied lemon actually. It's very sweet, vanilla-y, powdery. So lemon, vanilla, ginger, cardamom, musk type of smell. With these fragrances, that's pretty much the main thing you're really going to get. Lemon, vanilla, ginger, cardamom, musk. And the result is like this, a very musky citrus or fizzy. It's like a fizzy citrus with this musk. The sweetness is vanilla. I don't know why no one talks about this besides Oda Erica, because if you like Vibrato by Sospiro, then I think you'll like this as well. For some reason, this didn't get the hype all those other ones had. I don't know if it's just because it's by Navitus or whatever, but it's a pretty okay fragrance. It's not my style citrus. I personally wouldn't wear it, but I think it's okay. If you like citrus like that kind of style, you would definitely like that. And yeah, it is by Dominique Ropion as well. Just check if there's any notes that I'm missing. I think I also noted it's a little bit similar to Lemon Sherbet by 4160 Tuesdays, that fragrance brand. Although not exactly like that, it is closer to Vibrato and Ingenious Ginger. So that's 4 fragrances. I'll pick one more to review in this video. Okay, let's look for one more fragrance. Okay, this one. This one has been hyped by Demi Rolling. It's called Ylang Nosy B. Ylang Nosy B. It's by Paris Monte Carlo. I think is an Italian brand as well. It's an Italian style fragrance or just an Italian house. This I don't really like. Okay, let's spray this just to see. Yeah, I get like this vanilla ylang smell, but then it's got that same nauseating sweetness that I get in Xerjoff Dama Bianca. So this is I don't want to say a clone, but it's very, very similar to Dama Bianca by Xerjoff. It's almost like that floral vanilla. Sorry, floral vanilla. It's very smooth. It's very, very smooth though. Unlike my voice, which is getting a little bit croaky right now. Very smooth vanilla. With the top being florals. So, let me just check some notes that I wrote down. Creamy, coconutty smell to it. So, I get like this coconutty creaminess. Mixed with the yellow florals. It is very delicate, very, very well balanced. You can tell it's a very well made fragrance already. Just something about the ingredients that do smell high quality. The balance is there, the perfumery is there. It is a good quality fragrance, I'll give it that. But I don't really like these florals in a fragrance. It's not the worst though. Out of all the floral fragrances, I think it's okay. It's one of the better florals that I've tried. But it's just that nauseating something in there that does nauseate me, which is like Dama Bianca. I can't figure out what it is. I thought it was kumquat in Dama Bianca, but I guess maybe it's not because this doesn't have kumquat in it. But I still get that sickening smell. Yeah, I also said it's a little bit powdery, so there could be iris, musk, cardamom in there. There could be rose. Definitely ylang, jasmine, citrus, maybe coconut or vanilla. So powdery, rose, citrusy, creamy, floral ylang and jasmine. The florals, I think that's what I smell just the most is ylang, jasmine, rose. Powderiness is musky vanilla or like a coconutty vanilla. Possibly cardamom or iris. It could be iris, I don't really know. Whatever makes fragrances powdery, I guess. Let's just check Fragrantica quickly for that official notes. Because when I say notes on my computer, I mean like a Microsoft Word document where I just type in some information. Like the first time I try it, I just write down my first impression on the computer, pull up the document and just read off the computer sometimes. And then when I make these videos, then I'll go into Fragrantica and see what's actually in it. So I'm on Fragrantica right now. Just gonna look at the notes for you. It's got Ylang, cardamom, grapefruit, lemon, jasmine, orange blossom, rose, vanilla. It's got scabious, field scabious. Not sure what flower that is, or if it's even a flower, but yeah, I think same kind of style fragrance as Dama Bianca, even though the notes are quite different. It's in that same family as Dama Bianca by Xerjoff. I think this might be cheaper. If you want a cheaper version of Dama Bianca, then maybe try this. Although I can't really give you the price, so I don't know for sure if it is or not. But I think the quality of this might be a little bit better than Xerjoff actually. So this has a much better vanilla in it. I think this is better balanced as well. So that's 5 fragrances for this video. And let's just do a quick rating of which ones do I like the most. So obviously I like YSL Myslf the most. Or I should say I like myself the most. Second would be Syn.Ergy Scentologia, because I do like that one. Third would be between the Key and Soir Exclusif. However, the Key is just more mass appealing, and it doesn't really have anything offensive in it or anything too off-putting about it. Whereas this has the plasticky smell and that sesame smell. I just see the Key being a lot more mass appealing and inoffensive, less subjective. So between Soir Exclusif and Ylang Nosy B, they both have something a little bit off-putting about them. But Ylang Nosy B is just too feminine. It is a feminine, girly fragrance. Soir Exclusif is pretty much a gourmand that I could at least see myself wearing or buying, or no, maybe I wouldn't wear it or buy it, but if I had to, I could, you know. It's just pretty much, there's better fragrances out there. Except I wouldn't hate this. If I smelled this, I wouldn't hate it. If I smelled this on myself, Ylang Nosy B, I would probably feel a little bit sick, a little bit nauseous, just because I don't agree with that. Whatever's in there, there's something that makes me a little bit nauseous in it. And it is very feminine as well. So I don't know if I want to smell that feminine, even though I do wear a lot of feminine fragrances, so who knows. None of these are bad though, so if I had to pick out of all of them, none of them are bad fragrances. Even Ylang Nosy B, it's not a bad fragrance. It's just not as good as the other ones. So with that said, I'm going to end the video here. Thanks again for watching these videos, and I hope you enjoy my reviews of them and first impressions to some of them as well. And I just want to say, yes, myself smells a lot like Luna Rossa Ocean. Even smelling it now, the dry down, I'm still getting that Luna Rossa Ocean smell, which is pretty interesting to me because I love Luna Rossa Ocean. So, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I don't know when I'm going to release my next video, but I've pretty much reviewed all the good ones in the box right now, except for maybe 1 Million Parfum, Invictus Elixir or whatever, the new Victory in Elixir. I haven't reviewed that yet, so maybe if you want to see this, let me know. But I might take a break after this video for a few weeks and then finish doing the rest of the fragrances in the box. So yeah, alright, peace out guys.